mouth-watering Mexican cuisine from Guadalajara's, or choose from 4 other food vendors, all while sipping on your favorite drinks. The BetMGM Sportsbook at Cadillac Jack's Gaming Resort. How will your game play out?
Monument Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine is everywhere you need us to be. On the sidelines, supporting our local athletes, at our clinic locations throughout the region, and at our Ortho Express walk-in clinic when you don't have time to wait. We're here when you need us, working as a team to make your comeback stronger than ever. Getting stronger, getting better, getting you back to your best self. The life of an athlete has its uncertainties, wins and losses, injury and recovery. In the Black Hills area, athletes can always count on Monument Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, here for whatever moves you.
Question. When you walk into the boardrooms of the most successful companies here in South Dakota, who do you meet? When you're working for a mover and shaker with strong ties to our community, who are they? When you encounter a group of people eager to roll up their sleeves, who are you most likely to work with? Answer. Men and women who played high school sports. Education-based high school sports give us more than athletes we can root for. They give us leaders we can depend on. Taking the initiative, being a good teammate, sacrificing personal glory for the greater good. These are qualities we expect of our leaders, and they're all being cultivated in the high schools right here in South Dakota. Question. So where will we find tomorrow's leaders? Answer. High school sports.
This message presented by the South Dakota High School Activities Association and the South Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
KIMM Rapid City and K294BT Rapid City, the Black Hills Sports Station, 106.7 FM and 1150 AM, Fox Sports Rapid City.
The Los Angeles Dodgers announced today that 3-time Cy Young Award-winning pitcher Clayton Kershaw will retire at the end of the season. Kershaw will make his final regular season home start tomorrow against the San Francisco Giants. The Seattle Mariners won at Kansas City today 2-0 to tie the Houston Astros for first place in the AL West. Cleveland won at Detroit 3-1. The Guardians on a 7-game winning streak. Mets over the Padres 6-1. Pete Alonso homered for a 4th straight game. And sports journalist Pablo Torre reported today that the Los Angeles Clippers made a $21 million payment to the company Aspiration in June of 2022. The payment, signed off for in writing by the Clippers' chief financial officer, was made at a time when Aspiration was struggling for cash and was made 2 weeks before Aspiration was due to make a payment to Clippers star Kawhi Leonard. I'm Isaac Lowenkron.
It's time for South Dakota's Sports Talk Show. This is The Nate Brown Show, featuring live callers, great interviews, and thought-provoking sports talk. From the biggest national names to the hottest stories across South Dakota. Welcome to The Nate Brown Show. Here's your host, Nate Brown.
All right, welcome in. We're ready to go on a Thursday. The Nate Brown Show is back. Glad you're here. South Dakota Sports Talk Show live on Fox Sports Radio. Welcome in across the state, where it's always a great day in South Dakota. Hope you've had a great day. Hope you're having a great week. Let's make it happen tonight. Thursday show is always great. We got Happy Hour with Rob Kegron. He's coming in next hour. So national radio host, New York City's finest, Rob Kegron, live in studio on the Nate Brown Show every Thursday in the second hour. Happy Hour on tap. Rob Kegron's coming in. Also, great guests leading us up to that. It is Thursday, so we've got Lee Sterling ready to go. ParamountSports.com, one of the top handicappers. He gives us his picks every week. Lee Sterling on college and the NFL. His picks for the weekend. We'll go down to Texas tonight. National college football writer Zach Barnett's on tap. FootballScoop.com national writer. He's on the way. So we got some good stuff. Welcome in the Nate Brown Show on Fox Sports Radio. Also stream us a lot of different ways. You can get us on your phone, tablet, computer. We're on Midwest Sports Plus. That's the new high school sports app. They've got great games on there. I'll tell you, they've got great coverage, and this show is streaming live. So Midwest Sports Plus app. You've got us on YouTube as well. You can find us, The Nate Brown Show, on YouTube, and finally on X right now. Stream us live on X. Be a part of the show. We check our X account throughout the show, so if you want to interact with us, we'll get you on there. Find us on X, at Nate Brown Show. Answer our question of the day and watch the show live. We are all set. Let's get going tonight. The Nate Brown Show, glad to have you on board. If you want in tonight, we'll get you as best we can. 605-720-1067. That's our number, 605 605-720-1067. The Pizza Ranch Studio Hotline, powered by the Pizza Ranch, our great partners in Sioux Falls, Brandon, and 2 locations in Rapid City. The Pizza Ranch is the best buffet, no doubt, home of everyone's favorite buffet, from the fried chicken to the pizza. They got you covered tonight at the Pizza Ranch. Take the team, take the family to the Pizza Ranch at East 10th Street in Sioux Falls and in Brandon, and 2 locations in Rapid City. So hit us on the Pizza Ranch Studio Hotline or the Barron's Wilson text line. That is the listener text line for you, 605-720-1067. So you got the number either way. Text the show directly. We'll read your texts as they come in. All right, Brown's Best coming up. It's back tonight. What is Brown's Best? You've been listening to the show for a while. What's Brown's Best? It's our high school football picks on a weekly basis. We've kind of had a missed opportunity, but we put it on social, so we're trying to keep our record straight. We don't want to just, miss these opportunities to keep our high school picks going. But today we'll do it live on the show. We've got 5 games. We put the picks out. We hold ourselves accountable all throughout the season. One of the only shows in the state that does high school football picks. So we highlight Brown's Best and Matt Kearney's picks. He is coming in. So hang on for the high school football picks. Some really good games this week. I'm going to start a little Jefferson, Sioux Falls, Lincoln. So hang on for that. I want to go to this story. So college football, we know, has changed. And there's now this added aspect of these players making millions of dollars. And we know that they're making all of this money, and so now the heat is turned up even more. And I bring this up because Clemson's kind of been under the microscope this week. Clemson's lost a couple of games already. The Dabo Swinney yesterday said, hey, if they want to let me go, I'll go win somewhere else. Dabo Swinney, I'll just win somewhere else. If they want to let me go, find somebody better. Well, now his quarterback, Cade Klubnik, is also talking about the pressure and maybe the NIL aspect of this. And essentially, do we hold these players way more accountable and put them under scrutiny way more now because we watch them on Saturday and we say, Cade Klubnik, you're getting paid millions of dollars and Clemson's 1-2? I mean, you're getting paid to be the Clemson quarterback and you're not performing. And now we've ramped that up even more. Big boy college football always had the pressure. I mean, I watched it. I was there for 4 years as my brother played D1 football, and there was always pressure and all of that stuff, high expectations and the whole thing. But the NIL factor here, the pay-to-play factor, has changed, I believe, people's perception. I think it's changed your commentary a little bit because now we see it as a big business. We used to just see the kids, hey, they're playing for scholarships. Yeah, it's big boy football. There's pressure, expectations. But we maybe held back a little bit. But whenever we think people are making millions, whenever we know they're making millions, we automatically go to the fact, you're getting paid to play and you stink. This is wrong. And we're getting hosed, and the list goes on. So Cade Klubnik, Clemson quarterback, just asked about that this week. Asked about football, the pressure, the pay to play, the NIL. Has it changed the scenario? Has it changed the perception? Cade Klubnik, here's the quote. Football is number one for me. Go ask anybody. My family, my agent, whatever it is, I'm not worried about any of that stuff. But it's part of the game now. It's not necessarily something I asked for. It's just something that's happened. So I don't feel like I should be held responsible for that, if you know what I mean. But it's something that's happened, and I think that people handle it differently. I think we've done a good job handling it here at Clemson. We got to just continue to love the game. So the money he's making to be the starting QB is now coming more with the territory of taking a ton of heat now. And when you're losing, when you're struggling, people automatically go to, you're making millions of dollars and this isn't paying off. So yes, it has changed the landscape. And I'm going to ask this question of the day tonight before we get into Brown's Best, our high school football picks coming up. I want to ask the question of the day to you guys this Thursday. I will say it has changed people's perspective of college athletes that now that they're making a bunch of money like that, there's no doubt to me. But do you think the college athletes making millions now, large sums of money, huge sums of money, is it ultimately a good thing or ultimately a bad thing? I'm talking big picture now. Your opinion is welcome on the program. So Cade Klubnik said, I'm not worried about any of that stuff. I didn't ask for this stuff. I'm focused on football, but it's part of the game now. I didn't necessarily ask for it. I don't think I should be responsible for it. But the deal is it's happened, and I want to say, do we take a step back now that's been going on a few years, is it ultimately a good thing, the college athletes getting paid like they are, or a bad thing? That's a question of the day, a loaded question of the day on the Nate Brown Show tonight. I'll throw out the number if you want to get in. I'd like your answers to the question of the day, as always, this Thursday, 605-720-1067 is our line on the listener text line as well. Is it ultimately a good thing or a bad thing that college athletes like Cade Klubnik, Clemson QB, now making huge sums of money? And I want to, it's a little study on our psychology, on the society. What do we think? Is it, this is, I think many people would say, well, this is a good thing. Many people would say, this is ultimately a good thing. The college athletes weren't making anything and everybody was making money off of them. But I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure you could say for sure it's a good thing now with some of the stuff that's been going on. Thanks for calling. You're live, and you go ahead.
I don't know how the young men handle it, honestly. I'm a grown man, not necessarily mature, but your quarterback's making how much money? And if you're an offensive lineman, maybe you're making nothing?
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe there's. I don't know how there's not tension in the locker room. I don't understand how there wouldn't be, because there's tension in people's employment when they find out that people aren't making as much as they So, and these guys, if they're getting paid that kind of money, they should have higher expectations.
Oh, you do. Do you think people have held them more accountable now?
Why not? They're getting the money.
He said he didn't ask for it.
They could do it too.
He said he didn't ask for this. It's part of the game. He didn't ask for it.
Then don't take it. I mean, I'm not blaming him for taking it, but I mean, if he's worried about what's going to happen, don't do it. So,
all right, man.
That's my opinion.
I appreciate you. As always, thanks for getting in. I mean, they're going to take it. But Cade Klubnik just gave his press conference this week. It was last night. And he said, it's part of the game now, but it's not necessarily something I asked for. He's talking about the payments. It's just something that's happened. So I don't feel like I should be held responsible for that, if you know what I mean. And so people are hot and heavy on Clemson because they were top 5 team. They've lost twice. And now when everybody invests in this, everybody thinks, we're spending all this money and they're making all this money. What's going on? So is it ultimately a good thing or a bad thing? Very interesting question tonight. 64% of the audience so far says it's ultimately a bad thing, causes too many problems. 36% of you is all saying it's a good thing, it's the free market. Why are we saying it's a bad thing? You can't say it's a bad thing, right? I mean, it's ultimately a good thing if the free market says these guys are in a business of sports and they're making money because other people are making huge amounts of money. It's not like it's just a charity. So I can't say it's a bad thing, but it's interesting. See, this is playing out. People say, these guys are making all this money. It's a bad thing. Well, why is it a good thing for everyone else to make money? Thanks for calling. You're live, and you go ahead.
Nate, how's it going? Thanks for taking my call.
Good, man. What do you say?
I'm going column C here. I think it's good and bad.
Okay. And why is it bad?
Why is it bad? I do think, I mean, the pressure, I think, like, with the money, I mean, just like the last caller, like, I don't agree with it. I mean, these are kids, like, but the money has opened the window to extreme criticism. Like, I mean, you look at, like, Arch Manning, right? Like, I mean, he's started 2 or 3 college football games, maybe 4 in his career, and it's just, like, under a microscope. I mean, there's so much more attention on, like, even other sports, too. Like, I see just there's so much hate in, you know, like, discussing, or not hate, but just, like, so much, like, critique of people in games and in, you know, and I mean, coaches get it all the time, too, but now you see so much of it on players. Yeah, no, I would agree with that. I would agree with that. I think that's right. The scrutiny has elevated, for sure. That's why the Clemson QB's like, hey, I didn't ask for this, and now he's under pressure. It's like, well, you're 1-2, and so I get it. I mean, you watch, like, I mean, you just look at some of these forums, like, I mean, you know, I mean, you follow any other sport, like, and there's just so much scrutiny on these college athletes, and I mean, a lot of them don't make $1 million, you know, a year, like some of these guys. Like, they're just out there playing, and people are just ruthless, I think, on those forums. Yeah, I think the money has created that even more. Yeah, I appreciate they expect them to be professionals. Yeah. Right. No, you're right on that. Thanks for getting in. Good to hear from you. The Nate Brown Show off and running tonight. We'll revisit this. Zach Barnett's coming up from Texas. Covers college football out of Dallas. National college football writer for FootballScoop.com. He's covered Arch Manning quite a bit. So we'll talk to Zach Barnett, his take on this. First, on a Thursday, let's go. It is Brown's Best and Kearney's Picks back. We're back. We never left. Kind of. Well, we're back, and we've got our picks ready to go. How's my record, Matt Kearney? Am I okay?
So you're doing okay right now. You're at 7-3.
Okay.
I'm at 9-4.
Whoa.
So
wow.
I had a good week last week.
Must have had a good week. Huh?
Yes.
We'll try and forget that. Let's get into this week. Brown's Best, Kearney's Picks, high school football games of the week. Let's go AAA, the undefeated showdown in Sioux Falls. Number 1, Lincoln. Number 3, Sioux Falls Jefferson. Lincoln's going to win. They won't put up 50, but they're going to put up 35. It's going to be a clean game. Just too much Sioux Falls Lincoln. 35-14, the Patriots over the Cavaliers.
So Sioux Falls Lincoln, they've been scoring on average 56 points per game compared to Jefferson's 46 points per game. Since 2021, Sioux Falls Lincoln is 3-2 against Jefferson. Last time these two teams played, it was Lincoln with the win, 28-16. I'm going to be with you on this one. Give me Lincoln over Jefferson, 35-17.
Similar score. Let's go. Stay in Sioux Falls. O'Gorman, Rapid City Central. So Rapid City Central has some guys that can play. This is a much improved program that's been building the last couple of years. They are. They're not going to take down the top Sioux Falls teams. Can they take down some other Sioux Falls teams like Roosevelt? Yes. But how about O'Gorman? Not quite. I'll go O'Gorman 21, Rapid City Central 14. Competitive game.
So when you look at the last 4 matchups with Central and the scores, it's been all O'Gorman. O'Gorman 46-7. O'Gorman 42-7. O'Gorman 53-7. O'Gorman 61-3. Central, they are a much improved team compared to seasons past. They got the big win over Roosevelt earlier in the season. Are they going to beat O'Gorman? Not quite, but they're going to be competitive. So give me O'Gorman 28, Rapid City Central 13.
Let's go 11 AA. Brown's Best, Kearney's Picks, our high school football picks all season long. 11 AA. I think this is an interesting game. Brookings at Pierre tomorrow. Brookings at Pierre. Pierre is not quite what they used to be. Brookings is in that mix. Not quite going to get it done in the Govs home field. So I'm going to go Pierre tomorrow night. 20-7 over the Bobcats.
Do you remember what happened last season when these two teams matched up?
I don't.
This is one of the Pierre losses.
Okay.
That got the conversation rolling on if Pierre was the team last season, and of course they did. They made their way back to the Dome, but of course they didn't win the title last year. That game was 13-0 last year. They're 2-2 with the matchups. It's going to be a tight game, though. But give me the Govs tomorrow, 14-13.
Tight one. So we've agreed on every matchup. How about the one in Sturgis tomorrow? It's homecoming for the Scoopers. They're taking on Huron. Maybe they looked at it and said, let's do Huron on homecoming. Careful. Huron's been looking good. They beat Pierre. They beat T. They're going to slip by the Scoopers. I'm sorry, everybody in Sturgis. It's a good game tomorrow. Go to the game. It's going to be good. Huron 21, Sturgis 14.
Not so fast, my friend.
West River bias. Here we go.
Let's take a look at the last matchups between the Scoopers and the Tigers, okay? Last year, Huron 28-27. 14-10 Huron. 34-32 Huron. 20-14 Huron. Do you see the pattern I'm going here, Nate?
Okay.
Do you see the pattern?
Going to flip the script.
Close, tight games with these two teams. It's going to be the Scoopers night tomorrow. You're hearing it first right here. Give me the Scoopers over the Huron Tigers. The Scoopers, they'll be 4-0. It'll be the best start of the season in decades.
I believe that.
21-14 Scoopers. Book it.
Flip the score. Last one, 9-man game. We're going to go East River. 9-man game of the week. 9AA, Freeman Marion, Freeman Academy. 9A, Alcester Hudson. You'd think it might be a good game. They're both undefeated. Freeman's too much. 48-16. Freeman rolls undefeated Alcester Hudson.
So last year, Freeman Marion, Freeman Academy, they rolled over Alcester Hudson 42-0. As you said, both clubs are 4-0 on the season. It's just going to be too much for Alcester Hudson tomorrow. So give me Freeman Marion, Freeman Academy 24, Alcester Hudson 16.
Book the Browns' best Kearney's picks. They are in for another week. I'm trying to catch up. I'm taking Huron. He's going Sturgis, our only discrepancy in the 5 games of the week.
Go Scoops.
Browns' best Kearney's picks in, and Zach Barnett, national writer, in next.
This is the Nate Brown Show.
Hey, it's Nate Brown for Atomic Wings, 2 locations in Sioux Falls. You don't need to keep going to the mediocre wing places with too much breading and wings that don't have any meat. Atomic Wings is different. I know firsthand. Their boneless wings are made with fresh chicken right there. The best wings I've had. 15 unique flavors to choose from sweet to heat. Huge traditional wings, fresh boneless wings for game day, lunch, or dinner. 2 locations in Sioux Falls. Just order at atomicwings.com. Atomicwings.com.
Mom, can we please go to Waitiki Indoor Water Park Resort?
Waitiki? What's so special about it?
Are you kidding? It's got slides, fountains, a lazy river, everything. And it's just a short drive to Rapid City. If we stay at one of the hotels, we get water park passes for free.
Wow, you really did your homework. Okay, what do you say we pack our swimsuits and hit Waitiki this weekend?
Yes, best mom ever.
Unlock your adventure at WaitikiWaterPark.com.
Football is on, and your place for all the action is at the BetMGM Sportsbook in Tin Lizzie Gaming Resort.
And he's got a touchdown!
Don't miss a second of your favorite matchups with wall-to-wall television arrays and personalized audio technology.
Touchdown, Denver!
Now offering live betting so you can keep your luck rolling while the game is still going. Grab a lounge chair or pull up to a table and order off a full menu of food and drinks from Patty O'Neill's. BetMGM at Tin Lizzie is the #1 sportsbook in Deadwood, where it's always game on.
Here's your Fox Sports Rapid City forecast. Lows of aloft around 48 and foggy tonight under mainly cloudy skies, easterly winds around 5 miles per hour. High of 72 with fog early tomorrow. Lows around 50 tomorrow night. A blend of clouds and sun Saturday with daytime highs approaching 78. 83 Sunday. That's your forecast on the Black Hills Sports Station, Fox Sports Rapid City. Currently 63.
Imagine this, a bank that is committed to you, that understands your needs, your values, and your growth. No more settling for the status quo. Pioneer Bank and Trust offers tailored solutions, innovative services, and a team of experts dedicated to your success. You deserve more attention and more support from your bank. Don't settle. Pioneer. Pioneer Bank and Trust. Local.
Pioneer Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Looking for a great place for a pregame meal that really satisfies? Or maybe you want a place to take your all-star after the game. Or you're looking for a place to enjoy a delicious meal while watching your favorite team on the big screen TV. Valley Sports Bar and Grill has all the bases covered for all those things and more. Top-notch, friendly, and attentive service. Wall-to-wall big screen TVs with all the big games. And the absolute best wings in Rapid City. Valley Sports Bar. Make it your place. 1865 Valley Drive, Rapid City.
This isn't just the sound of a legendary Brunswick pool table. It's the sound of families about to make memories together. And while this may sound like the hum of a spa, listen closely and you'll hear backyard fun for years to come. So while Splash City's guarantee of quality sure sounds good, we know quality time sounds even better.
Who wants another burger? Splash City, 1024 West Omaha, across from Connects in Rapid City.
From high school to college to the pros, from Rapid City to Sioux Falls, the Nate Brown Show is South Dakota's sports talk show.
All right, we're back on a Thursday. The Nate Brown Show is in Fox Sports Radio across South Dakota Sports Talk Show. Glad you're here. Appreciate you making this show possible. Second hour features national radio host Rob Kegron live in studio. New York City's famous Rob Kegron makes his way to South Dakota and puts on a show on the Nate Brown Show every Thursday. Rob Kegron's coming in a lot to hit with him. Let's go to Texas. College football headquarters, man. They got a lot of stuff popping down there. National college football writer for footballscoop.com. It's Zach Barnett. Let's talk college football. A lot of things going on right now. Portal window, NIL. I mean, all that stuff. Zach, welcome in. How are you?
Doing well, Nate. Great to be back.
I appreciate your time. I want to hit a few things here. I started my show with Cade Klubnik, Clemson. Was asked about NIL, the expectations that come with that, and he said football's number one for me. NIL's part of the game now, but it's not necessarily something I asked for, so I don't feel like I should be held responsible for that, if you know what I mean. Have college football fans' expectations changed, the scrutiny, because of the money?
Oh, there's no doubt. I mean, it's true for them as it's true for any of us. And arguably, it's even more true for college football players because the relationship of money from fans' pocket to players' pocket is even more direct in this sport than any professional sport. But, I mean, at the same time, these are kids. They're human beings. They're not NFL players. They're not playing at the highest level of the game. So I hope every fan should keep that in mind. But I also think players are delusional if they think that they get all that money for free. I mean, nothing's free in this world, right, Nate?
Yeah, I know that. So they're making huge sums of money, some of these guys. Huge sums. So big picture question, and you're kind of tweeting about some of this right now with NCAA and NIL and how do you govern this. But is the large sums of money being made a good thing or a bad thing? Is that a hard question?
No, it's an easy question. Of course it's a good thing. I want everyone to be clear here. It was the opinion of the United States Supreme Court that it was illegal to bar these players from the money that they help generate. The college athletics is a billion-dollar industry. It would not be an industry at all if not for the athletes that make college athletics happen. So all of this is extremely secondary to the fact that the athletes finally get to participate in the market and the revenue that their labor generates. So, yeah, it's not like it used to be, blah, blah, blah. If you are saying that college athletics is the NIL is wrong, you are wrong. And it's also made college athletics better. Houston and Florida played for the national championship last year. Texas Tech is on a heater right now. Indiana has risen up. Alabama has fallen. This has been a good thing, and don't let anyone tell you otherwise.
Okay, interesting. Texas Tech's billionaire donor who's run these commercials. I've been watching him, Cody Campbell, about, hey, we need to do something different here. College sports needs to be saved. The Olympic sports need to be saved, and it's not going to happen if we keep the NCAA in charge. And what do you say?
I'm willing to hear Cody Campbell out. Obviously, he's got a stake in the game, and he's the reason Texas Tech is on a heater, but he also recognizes that it's not sustainable for every other school. So I'm willing to listen. The question that I have for Mr. Campbell is, what would he say if someone else suggested that the federal government take over the petroleum industry? Out in this area of the world, probably similar to South Dakota, the federal government not too popular. So the idea that the federal government can come in and save college athletics, I'm a little dubious of. But I read the Ross Dellinger piece. I've listened to everything Cody Campbell has to say with an open mind, and I don't know enough to say that he's wrong on all or any of his conclusions, and he might ultimately be correct. But I'm not down that road far enough to say whether he's dead right or dead wrong.
Zach Barnett's on tonight. Follow him on X at Zach_Barnett. Footballscoop.com, national writer. Let's go to this portal window. So they're getting rid of the spring portal window. They're going to have one, it looks like, about 10 days there at the beginning of January. Explain to everybody, what does this do, getting rid of the spring window?
I think it really what we saw when the first spring window, the spring of 24, guys were making money, and I think, let me restate here. Teams have gotten smart and realized that the most economical way to fund a roster is to recruit guys out of high school and then retain them. There was a kind of a one-time gold rush where everyone was going nuts off of portal players. Players were getting rich. Money was being spent. I think that time is largely past us. That's not to say that January won't be a little bit nuts, because of course it will, and of course no one's going to wait till 12:01 a.m. on January 2nd, assuming that stays the date, to put their name or put their client's name out there. Of course, tampering is going to go on, all that stuff. But I think the days of teams completely just buying an entire roster, unless it's a coach bringing 15 or so players with him, I think those days are largely gone, just because the economics show that it's just cheaper to keep your guys than to pluck away someone else's.
So if I think about it, players that are waiting, they go through spring ball, they're kind of, well, I didn't make it. I didn't get the spot on the depth chart I wanted, so now I could leave. Do you think, well, now they can't, do you think this will ultimately cut down on transfers?
I hope so, but at the same time, the NCAA itself has admitted the transfer portal dates are merely just suggestions. They said they don't have the power to tell a college student you can't unenroll at your current university and enroll somewhere else. We can't stop you. And that court case, Wisconsin is in the process of suing Miami over their quarterback Xavier Lucas that they say was tampered away from Miami. So we'll see what becomes of that. But I do agree with you in general that I think eliminating April will hopefully save these players from themselves in a way.
Okay, I want to get your take on Arch Manning. You right in the middle of it. What's the feeling in Texas with this guy? The expectations were off the charts, I thought unfairly. I didn't see him enough. You guys have seen him. He's struggling. How pressure cooker is it?
Oh, I think I think the idea that, well, he's a Manning and that the noise wouldn't affect him was misguided, and the thought of being number one preseason Heisman favorite, all that stuff, we forget he's still 20 years old and a first-time starter. And I think it's certainly a mental thing. Joel Klatt broke it down this week in a really smart manner, I thought, who said he's just a little bit jumpy. He's ahead of the rest of the offense. He's moving too often. He's moving from his number one progression to his number two before the number one even has a chance to be open or not. So it's throwing the timing off. I know that there's also some extenuating circumstances that aren't excuses for him, but more additional reasons why it is the way it is. And that he's playing with a new offensive line that's largely figuring things out themselves. They're calling a lot of zone run schemes that the offensive line simply isn't good at, so he's in a lot of 2nd and 10s, 3rds and 10s that are going to be disadvantageous for every quarterback. His best running back has not been healthy. Trey Wisner, who appears this team's best running back, has only played in the first game. His next best running back, C.J. Baxter, left Saturday's game after 1 carry. So he's got nothing but true and redshirt freshman running backs. They've got a whole new tight end group. They've a lot of new faces at receiver. And in some key moments in that UTEP game, and it's crazy that I'm saying key moments in a UTEP game, but you're 3rd and 8, and you've got receivers running in. You have one receiver running into a tight end, and it's a first-time receiver and a freshman tight end. So does that excuse Arch's performance? Of course not. It's just reason. It's not a yeah, but it's a yes and for why Arch is struggling so much.
Give me the national perspective. If Nebraska beats Michigan, does that move the needle Saturday?
I think so. I mean, Michigan's favored. This is a game where Nebraska has more to lose and Michigan has more to gain than this one. You're in year 3 under Matt Rule with the sophomore quarterback. Michigan's in year 2 under their head coach is suspended with a freshman quarterback. You're at home. You should win this game. So I think I don't think anyone's going to be writing them into the playoff, but it'd be more like, okay, good, you've done what you're supposed to do. You're still on schedule.
Okay, so some people have said playoff for the Huskers, not me, but if they beat Michigan, the schedule's not really, really tough. They still got Penn State coming up, USC, so there's some hiccups there, but when are we going to start talking about Nebraska?
How about we get to 8-9 wins first?
Okay. Good stuff. That's my pick, by the way, 8 wins. I had this one as a loss. We'll see how it goes Saturday in Lincoln. Zach Barnett on tonight. Follow his work, footballscoop.com, national writer. Zach, thanks a lot. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Appreciate the time. Zach Barnett in tonight on South Dakota Sports Talk Show, national college football writer out of Dallas, Texas, footballscoop.com. Good stuff from Zach. Was that snarky, Zach? How about we get to 8-9 wins first? About Nebraska. Was that snarky at all? He's a good guy. I was trying to determine. Hey, we've got some games to pick with Lee Sterling on a Thursday on the Nate Brown Show. Lee Sterling from Paramount Sports. He'll also give you a free play. So if you're looking at it, I've got his game of the week. He'll give you a free play on this. So hang on. We've got some games to break down, including who's Lee Sterling taking? Michigan's favored by 2.5 at Nebraska. Lee, Paramount Sports, his picks next.
This is South Dakota's Sports Talk.
There's nothing like it. Not for hundreds of miles in any direction. A gathering space for all kinds of people from all kinds of backgrounds. To share, to revel, to stand together and celebrate life's greatest moments.
We are number one, so you can always be their number one. Black Hills Surgical Hospital and Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center, the number one hospital in the nation for major orthopedic surgery.
Renewal by Anderson Windows and Patio Doors, the customers say it best, and they feel the difference every day.
Very happy with it. Very, very happy. I don't get tired of looking at them. And it's so nice with the breeze now, opening the windows, the ease of sliding the windows back and forth. Notice that it is warmer in the wintertime, and it is cooler
by Outdoors, the customers say it best. Book your free estimate right now at RVARapidCity.com.
What do you call a place? It's one of Deadwood's largest casinos, but is it really a casino? Because you can't decide, should I play or eat or wait? There's a liquor-infused ice cream bar? I mean, you're playing craps one minute, and the next you're looking at a charcuterie board? What even is that? Never mind the gunfight outside. You don't have time for that. You've got espressos to down and games to bet on, and a pub with 48 whiskeys? What do you even call a place like that?
Hi, this is Jeremy with Jerry's Cakes and Donuts, inviting you to kickstart your morning by dropping by and grabbing some fresh donuts. I want to thank you for voting us the best in the Black Hills. We're up early making your favorite donuts, so stop by and bring some to the office. Everybody loves Jerry's Cakes and Donuts, and we love you, so stop by, get a great selection to brighten up your day. Serving Rapid City for over 40 years, Jerry's Cakes and Donuts at 109 East Omaha, and remember to like Jerry's on Facebook for some great giveaways.
Get away from it all in the great outdoors for lasting family memories with a new or pre-owned RV from Dakota Discount RV. We make your RV experience fun and easy by providing you with a quality recreational vehicle, competitive pricing, and professional sales and service. Our large inventory of fifth-wheelers, travel trailers, toy haulers, and live-in horse trailers allows us to save our customers thousands of dollars compared to most dealers. Stop by and see us at Dakota Discount RV, 3330 East Mall Drive across from Cabela's and on JB Road, Blackhawk.
Your sports, your show. From East River to West River, this is South Dakota's sports talk show, The Nate Brown Show.
Welcome back in. South Dakota Sports Talk Show live, Fox Sports Radio. How you doing today? Hopefully solid. It's always a great day in South Dakota. You can book that. Speaking of booking it, let's get some picks, man. We do it every Thursday. Appreciate his time and perspective, the breakdown. Listeners listen for Lee Sterling on the Nate Brown Show across South Dakota. ParamountSports.com. It's time. Huskers have a big one coming up. Michigan, that's a big one, so I see it's on the list. So let's get popping. Lee, how are you?
I'm good. Actually, though, it's rained here in Miami. Get this. I feel like I'm in the Great Northwest in Seattle or something. It's rained for 27 straight days. Now, not where it's stopped, but at some time during the day or night, 27 straight days it's rained.
A little humid, I would expect down there.
Well, after the rain, that's, after you dodge the rain and take the dog, out, you got an umbrella. So just a little unusual. What that usually means is, you figure it out. What that usually means is that December through February won't rain at all.
Okay, all right, we'll take that. We'll take that trade-off. We don't feel sorry for you in Florida from South Dakota, Lee. We just don't. Okay, let's get into it. I said Huskers have a huge game. That's on your list, but we'll wait on that. Yeah. Let's get into it. You had a good winning week last week. USC, Michigan State. So I think USC's pretty good. They're favored by 18.5.
Yeah. I think they are, too. I think they're much better than the last couple of years. So it's just taken them a while to figure out the type of kid that they want and putting in the right system. And I think they made the right choice by, going with a young quarterback instead of Miller Moss. So Miller Moss was not going to take them to the next level. This game could actually end, if you're a Michigan State fan, at close to 2 a.m. So tough road trip here. Spartans offense, kind of the middle of the pack in most every offensive category. And they should run both figuratively and literally into a problem here with the front seven for the Trojans, who are allowing just 3 yards per carry, 87 yards rushing per game. USC's pass defense lags a bit because they've had some big leads, but I think that Michigan State's got to run to set up the pass here to have a chance to win this game or stay close. So I just think they have too many big play guys here at skill players position here for USC. I like USC. I think they pull away late, 44-20.
Okay, so you're going to cover that number. It's a big number. USC favored 18.5. Lee Sterling picking USC. ParamountSports.com. Lee Sterling on tonight. We're staying in the Big Ten. We like running through it. Wisconsin got handled by Alabama. Now Wisconsin's favored by 10 against Maryland.
So Maryland's look good, and I think they're improved. But the question is this a trap line? So I like their quarterback. I think he's good. I think he's probably better than anything they've had in a while. But when you watch Malik Washington, their quarterback, who has 6 touchdowns and just 1 interception and averaging 9 yards per pass attempt, throws it at 1 speed, fastball, 98, 99 miles an hour. And when you throw balls like that, you got to have touch. You throw it to a tight end who's 4 yards upfield, or you throw a flanker screen that hard sometimes, instead of just, using touch, you can get balls that are going to bounce off receivers' arms and get some ricochets, and eventually some balls are going to go in opponents' hands. So that could be a problem. I've never been a Mike Locksley fan. I mean, he can beat the bad teams, can't beat the teams that are similar to him or better. And I like Wisconsin offensive coordinator Jeff Grimes. So been at BYU, Baylor, and Kansas. Actually, 2 of the 3 stops, he was up for the best offensive coordinator award. So give me some Wisconsin. This is a trap line. Most people saw the game against Alabama. Alabama is at a different level. But I think they can beat the teams that they're better than. I think everyone's going to bet Maryland, and Wisconsin's going to cover by double digits here, something like 28-16.
All right, Wisconsin favored by 10. Maryland, that's in the books. Here's one that I'm having a tough time with. Illinois, Indiana. Indiana hasn't played anybody. They haven't played anybody. Illinois, they think, can make some noise here in the Big Ten, really. So Indiana's favored by 5, Lee.
Yeah. So Fernando Mendoza is a good quarterback. He had 16 touchdowns, 6 interceptions last year with Cal. He has looked good so far, but they played, like I said, nobody. I think they're susceptible to a team that has a good pass rush, and Illinois has that pass rush. Took them until late in the third quarter, but they took over against Duke on the road. They can do it here against Indiana. And Mendoza was sacked, get this, 50 times last year for Cal. People remember, their game against Miami where they had a chance to win. Miami came back late and scored. But just think that this is an Indiana team not quite as good as last year, doesn't have the explosiveness. And when you control the offensive and defensive lines, you're going to win a lot of games. Key is just Illinois can't turn the ball over 2 or more times. So, and even the losses Illinois had last couple of years, only 2 of them were by more than a touchdown. And those were Penn State and Oregon, 2 teams just much better than Indiana. It's called for the upset. Wrong team favored. Illinois straight up. They're going to knock off Indiana 30-27.
All right, Illinois upset, 5-point dogs. Lee Sterling picking them to beat Indiana. Here's the game everybody wants in South Dakota. Huskers need it. They haven't beat a top 25 team in 9 years. Huskers are at home, but they're underdogs to Michigan, 2.5.
So if you looked at the Michigan team, you would probably say 1 through 40, they have a better team, no denying it, talent-wise, than Nebraska. But game isn't won just on talent alone. I think, obviously, quarterback's the most important position. You got the 2 quarterbacks who are number 1 in the country at their position last 2 years, Dylan Raiola 2 years ago, Bryce Underwood last year, hooking up in this game. And I think Raiola's just a little bit more poised and a little farther along. Underwood might have more talent at the next level, but he's a true freshman. If you watch the Oklahoma game, anytime it was really 3rd and 6 or longer through the first 3 quarters, they were not willing to push the ball down the field, and the few times they did not have success. Underwood was not making a quality throw. But when they throw underneath, you know, if it's 3rd and 7 and you throw it to a tight end 3 or 4 yards down the field, probably not going to get the first down. They were doing that early and often with those kind of plays, flanker screens. So I think the playbook is out here, and I don't think Michigan is going to improve anytime soon. Maybe later in the year on offense, but they're not there yet. Nebraska's got a really good offensive coordinator, Dana Holgorsen. Not a great head coach, but as an offensive coordinator, probably top 5 in college football. Their defense is a little improved, held 2 of the 3 opponents under 200 yards, and even Cincinnati to under 275 yards. And Cincinnati's an underrated offense. Two final things, the reasons I'm going to back Nebraska here is Matt Rule, when he was at Baylor, 5-2 as a home underdog. And Michigan's been without their head coach for 2 weeks now. Sharon Moore, not able to even be at the facility. So who are they coached by? Who's their interim coach? Biff, Back to the Future Poggi. So if you watch him when he was at Charlotte, he's the coach that wears those sweatshirts and he cuts them to the top of the shoulders and makes some horrible decisions, 4th down decisions, whether to go for it or not. So he was a running joke of a lot of people that watch college football at that level. So I think Nebraska is going to get it done here, finally win that big game, get that signature win. Nebraska plus 2.5, straight up 24-21.
Taking the Huskers. Lee Sterling's on the Nate Brown Show tonight, ParamountSports.com. How about one NFL hitter before we get to the game of the week for you? It's my Broncos on the road in L.A. Chargers undefeated. You've got the number. Chargers favored by 2.5. Where do you see the Broncos?
What happened when you saw that they had called that penalty?
Oh, my gosh.
Week?
I was at home. I think I cussed. I hate to tell you, Lee. I hate to tell you.
I felt for you. So I had the Broncos and didn't come through for me. And to lose that way is horrific.
Yeah.
Because they're telling these kids, they know, don't go near the center. Don't go near the center. Probably said 40 times. So to have a brain, you know what, and to just not realize what you're doing, it could cost them. It could cost them. I think they're going to make the playoffs, but I think it's going to cost them possibly the division. So it shows how important this game here is. Can't lose this game. You want to go stay up at least one game up on Kansas City, and you want to tie the Chargers here. So I just love the way that Denver has played on defense in the first game. For some reason, second game didn't look the same here. So I expect their red zone offense and defense to pick it back up here. It's just taking them a little longer. So they like I said, I think this is going to be a better setup here. And still, I think the Chargers are going to get exposed here for losing their star left tackle. I think that Denver's going to do it here. Wrong team favored again. Denver, 24-23.
Some upsets. I would love that. Taking the Broncos to win on the money line. Lee Sterling, game of the week. You want everybody to find out. Ravens, Lions. It's the Monday night game. So Ravens by 6.
Yeah, how good is this game here? So you want to get this game on me? First 5 callers. Call 800-400-9741. I'm going to give them this game. The Ravens and the Lions. This could be a Super Bowl matchup here. So first 5 callers, 800-400-9741. And I get more calls, texts, and emails about this promotion, any other promotion that we run. It's called the Baker's Dozen. It's 13 games combined Saturday and Sunday, $97. That's right, you heard me correct. $97 for 13 games. You're all set for the entire weekend. You don't have to call me back on Saturday and Sunday. It's an instant download, so you're ready to go. Price point there, almost anyone can afford it, even if you're betting $40, $50 a game. So Baker's Dozen, $97 instant download. And we've had some 12-1, 11-2, 10-3 records on this. So you want to get it on the Baker's Dozen, just one place. ParamountSports.com.
All right, Lee Sterling every Thursday, ParamountSports.com. Get his game of the week. Lee, I appreciate it. Thanks.
Thanks, Nate. See you, bud.
See ya. Lee Sterling in on the Nate Brown Show across South Dakota. If you want a free game, Ravens-Lions, he'll give it to you. 5 callers from this show. First 5 callers, 800-400-9741. So I'll give you that number. First 5 callers, if you want the free game, Ravens-Lions, his pick, 800-400-9741. First 5 callers from the Nate Brown Show for Lee Sterling at Paramount Sports. Well, Rob Kegron's on his way in, so get ready. Happy Hour with Rob Kegron's on tap. We've got a good one this next hour. Until then, I just saw this story. It's a TED Talk. Have you listened to these TED Talks? Do I give a TED Talk every day in the afternoon drive here? Is this a TED Talk on sports? Well, this is a TED Talk out of Sioux Falls, and it's talking about esports. That's, video games, basically. So, esports and what parents should think of them. Oh, here we go next.
This is the Nate Brown Show.
There's nothing like it. Not for hundreds of miles in any direction. A gathering space for all kinds of people from all kinds of backgrounds. To share, to revel, to stand together and celebrate life's greatest moments.
We are number one. So you can always be their number one. Black Hills Surgical Hospital and Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center. The number one hospital in the nation for major orthopedic surgery.
Renewal by Anderson Windows and Patio Doors, the customers say it best, and they feel the difference every day.
Very happy with it. Very, very happy. I don't get tired of looking at them. And it's so nice with the breeze now, opening the windows, the ease of sliding the windows back and forth. Notice that it is warmer in the wintertime, and it is cooler when the sun is shining in.
Renewal by Anderson Windows and Patio Doors, the customers say it best. Book your free estimate right now at rbarapidcity.com.
What do you call a place? It's one of Deadwood's largest casinos, but is it really a casino? Because you can't decide, should I play or eat or wait, there's a liquor-infused ice cream bar? I mean, you're playing craps one minute and the next you're looking at a charcuterie board? What even is that? Never mind the gunfight outside, you don't have time for that. You've got espressos to down and games to bet on and a pub with 48 whiskeys? What do you even call a place like that?
Women's outerwear and footwear, Shields has the widest selection of the best brands in the business. So when you're ready to get out, get in the game, or get going, get to Shields. Shields, we're right there with you at Rushmore Crossing in Rapid City.
Building your Black Hills dream? Builder's First Source in Rapid City, Spearfish, and Hot Springs has you covered. Top quality materials, product expertise, all your building needs in one place for materials and services. Just stop in or start at BLDR.com. That's BLDR.com. Builder's First Source. Build it.
This is The Nate Brown Show, also streaming live on YouTube. Subscribe to The Nate Brown Show on YouTube.
welcome back in. The Nate Brown Show is on Fox Sports Radio. South Dakota Sports Talk Show live. Glad you're here across the state. Happy hour's coming up with Rob Kegron live in studio. The national radio host named Rob Kegron spends time with us in South Dakota live in studio, and we shoot it around a little bit. He brings that New York flavor. I bring that South Dakota hit. So we're ready to go, man. Rob Kegron's coming in. Thought-provoking sports talk for next hour, and our guest host, Rob Kegron, live in studio. Okay, I just saw this article came out. I just saw this today. It's a TED Talk. Have you listened to these TED Talks? What are these like? They're on business. They have business TED Talks. They have family TED Talks and all sorts of TED Talks, right? There's a TED Talk by a South Dakota woman who's been selected for the national TED.com conference. So, like, her TED Talk is selected for the national TED Talk. Why is it on the Nate Brown Show today? Well, she's talking about esports. Her topic of the TED Talk is about esports. Now, here we go. I've talked on this show about esports. I'm not a huge fan. I'm not a huge fan of esports because I'm a sports guy. So I feel like it's turned into this, hey, we're going to call, if you're really good at video games, it's a thing, and it's a, we're going to have competitions and all this. I know there's a bunch of smart people making a bunch of money off, like, sponsorships and esports and everything. I mean, it's wild. But I've always said, I'd rather you play sports, active, physical. I think you learn more, the lessons, the adversity, I mean, all that stuff, than esports. That's what I've said. Am I going to have to flip on this? Because here's what her TED Talk is about. This is a woman, Hannah, from Sioux Falls. And she got selected for the national TED.com. So a credible honor, great honor for her. Her TED Talk is how esports are a parenting power-up. She said, esports gave me a way to connect with my kids on their terms, and I'm excited more families and communities can learn how gaming can become a bridge to deeper connection and growth. So interesting stuff here. Do I have to flip on this? Because I'm going to bring it into my household here. What if my kids played NCAA football? What if they played NCAA football? I have two daughters. They like football. We don't have any one of the new gaming consoles, so we don't, the Xbox, the PlayStation stuff, we don't have that. So we haven't gotten into gaming. But I got to be honest, would I be signing up for this TED Talk if I had NCAA football, which I really loved back in the day, by the way. I loved playing NCAA football, and if my daughter wanted to play NCAA football, I have to tell you, I would be playing it with her. Now, I don't know if we'd have a deep connection because I'd want to absolutely drill her. I'm not going to let anybody win. But is this something that you would think, hey, she's right on target on this? You're going to listen to this TED Talk. How esports is good for parents and kids. How esports is good for parents and kids. Now, you know what's bad? Roblox. Wait a second. I had somebody at Roblox, like one of the guys that was in charge of Roblox. He was checking out this show. I'm just telling you. I don't know how to play Roblox. I don't know what Roblox. I don't know what you do. They got all sorts of these games. I don't know if I can have a connection with my daughter over Roblox. So if we're taking this from esports, does Roblox count as esports? Or does it have to be like Mike Tyson's Punch-Out? Because that's where I'm at. I want Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. I want NCAA football. I want Madden football. I'm not sitting here playing Roblox and then pretending that I'm going to have a good time with my kids. Sorry. But by the way, the guy at Roblox, thanks for tuning in, and what an idea you've had. What a game you have. By the way, let me ask this question really quick. Do you think playing video games with your kids counts as spending quality family time? Question of the day. Does playing video games with your kids count as spending quality family time? The TED Talk out of Sioux Falls here that I was reading about today says, yes, this is a parenting power-up. And what do you say? And I'm saying, I'm being honest, if I was playing sports video games with my kids, that'd probably be fun. That'd be fun. I mean, what's any different? That's no different of playing Madden with your kid or watching a movie, right? I mean, we like watching movies, stuff like that. So playing video games with your kids. I won't be getting into Roblox anytime soon for quality family time. 64% of my audience voting, yes, it counts as quality family time. Parents should play. 64% say parents should play video games with their kids. And thank you for listening to my TED Talk about Roblox. Happy Hour with Rob Kegron. He's in studio live next.
This is South Dakota's Sports Talk Show.
Looking for a big new game to play? Well, there's no game bigger than the new dino-sized Jurassic Park scratch ticket from the South Dakota Lottery, which gives you a chance to win up to $50,000 instantly. And if that weren't enough, you can enter for a chance to win an exciting trip to beautiful Hawaii, where you could win up to $1 million. So get down to your local lottery retailer today and welcome to Jurassic Park. Must be 18 years or older to play. Please play responsibly.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Our locally owned Ace stores are committed to helping our neighbors and our communities. And because we're in the neighborhood, we can deliver almost anything you need. So shop in store or online for whatever your home or yard needs. Choose from top brands like Milwaukee, Stihl, Traeger, and Benjamin Moore. Then pick up in-store, curbside, or we'll deliver your order right to your home. Around the block, what you need in stock, with people who know how to help. See acehardware.com for details.
What makes a credit union different from a bank? At Highmark Credit Union, it starts with you. We're member-owned, not shareholder-driven. That means our earnings go back to you through better rates, lower fees, and personal service. Unlike big banks, we put people first. You're not just an account number, you're part of a community. Highmark Credit Union. Local, personal, and here for you. We'll make it happen. Federally insured by the NCUA.
Step into Cadillac Jack's Gaming Resort for the thrill of winning big during their $120,000 Players Paycheck giveaway. Play now to qualify, and you could win a prize package every 30 minutes on Friday and Saturday nights. Then, there'll be not one, but two grand prize drawings. The first on Saturday, September 27th, and the second on Saturday, November 1st, where someone will win a $26,000 Players Paycheck. Only at Cadillac Jack's Gaming Resort. How will your night play out?
KIMM Rapid City and K294BT Rapid City, the Black Hills Sports Station, 106.7 FM and 1150 AM, Fox Sports Rapid City.
Hey, golfers, have you experienced Elkhorn Ridge Golf Club? Golf Digest ranked Elkhorn Ridge Golf Club the #1 public course in South Dakota. Off Exit 17 in Spearfish, Elkhorn Ridge offers a golfing experience second to none. Play their 18-hole championship layout with your buddies. Stop into Miller Creek Pub for some drinks, or bring the family out for lunch and try out the new putting green right below Miller Creek Pub. Elkhorn Ridge Golf Club has it all. Book your next tee time at elkhornridgeresort.com.
Hanging with Brian from Anytime Auto Sales. I see new models of stand-up and teardrop campers on your lot.
Yes, you do. We're proud to feature the new SGC Armor line of campers from Bontrager Outdoors. Bang for the buck, there's just nothing out there like these new super cool Armor campers and Bontrager teardrops.
And the suspension these campers have? Wow, so impressive.
All our campers come standard with the off-road package. Bontrager and Armor just ramped boondocking up another notch. And right now, you'll get the best price all year on these 2026 ultra-light, ultra-beefy, option-loaded campers and teardrops.
You gotta check out these new look campers, people. The new designs are fantastic, and so many options for their size.
And so many options for towing. No need for a diesel or a big truck. These only weigh around 1,500 to 2,000 pounds, so they can be towed by almost any rig.
Check out these new 2026 Bontrager and SGC Armor campers, everyone. See anytime.com, and as always, at the corner of Highway 79 and East Minnesota.
Anytime Auto Sales. One more time.
This is the Nate Brown Show. From the biggest national names to the hottest stories across South Dakota. Welcome to the Nate Brown Show. Here's your host, Nate Brown.
All right, welcome in. Second hour ready to go. The Nate Brown Show is on Fox Sports Radio. Glad you're here. This hour driven by Summit Automotive Group. When it comes to pre-owned selection in South Dakota, start at summitautogrp.com. Experienced car buying built around you. It starts with the selection, and then it ends with the right treatment at summitautogrp.com. The Nate Brown Show is on. Happy Hour with Rob Kegron is in on a Thursday. And you never thought that I'd talk about this. Yes, we're going to hit on the Vikings and the Huskers and all that stuff. You never thought I'd talk, can esports and video games be something that parents and kids should experience together? What a topic here. And Rob Kegron says what?
Well, should they experience it together? I don't know that I'd go that far, Nate.
Madden football. If you have your kid, we want to play Madden football together, we'd be doing it. Doing it.
Yes, you have two girls, I have a girl, right? So it is a little bit different. I mean, at least my daughter has no real interest in playing Madden football. If she told me, hey, Dad, I was at my friend's house, I played Madden for like a couple hours, I really felt like it was super cool, I liked it, it might actually get me into football, would you mind playing with me? I absolutely would, right? Because to me, that's a bonding experience, particularly if there's a way to do that over sports and it maybe gets her a little more interested in the things that I'm interested in, I would do it. But I don't know that I would invite her to do it either, right?
Okay.
Like, I'm not a big video game guy.
Okay, so the TED Talk, I just mentioned this lady out of Sioux Falls got selected for a national TED Talk, and it's about how parents should play esports and connect with their kids. She started doing it, said, this is a deeper connection and growth. I put it out to the audience in my question of the day, so if you want to answer it, 605-720-1067 on the text line. Can you connect with the kids by playing video games? Does playing video games count as quality family time? That's the question.
Okay, to that question, I would say yes, right? If, we've learned, like, you and I probably grew up playing a lot more video games than we ever would think about doing now. I would imagine, right?
Yes,
I mean, I certainly did, right? But I also... we kind of compartmentalized video games as a kid, right? Like, that was for when the weather was bad, when it was raining out. Like, if it was nice out, I was outside playing.
And my parents wouldn't let me sit there at the Nintendo and Sega the whole day.
Yeah.
They would not.
But you and I would also both admit that the way kids interact with each other, the way kids interact with friends, with family, is very different than we were when we were kids, right? It's just, it does not happen that kids are playing ball in the street every single day after school. I wish it was, but it's not. And so if your child is into that and wants to bond over it, like, because a lot of times it's the opposite, right? The kid's like, I'm going to play the video games because I'm getting away from you, Dad, right? Like, if you want to spend some time with me and this is a way to do it, I absolutely would, and I think it's a good idea.
Okay, you think it's a good idea. So yes. Rob Kegron has announced here tonight he's going to play Roblox with his daughter.
She does play Roblox once in a while.
You just said it was a good idea.
Well, if she asked me to, I said it was a good idea. I've actually convinced her to get into some watching sports. Right, football a little here and there, but I got her really into, and you're going to say this is completely bizarre, but I got her really into the hockey playoffs last spring and summer, because there were so many overtime games, and I'd be like, Hazel, this game could end at any moment. And just the excitement and the thrill of that, she really enjoyed. So I'd still push for that first, but if she asked to play Roblox, I'd probably do it for 15 minutes, and then I'd lose my mind.
I tried it. Already been there, done that. It's not worth your time. But I already tried it. 65% of people voting, yes, parents should play video games, esports, to spend quality family time. 65%. 35% say, no, it doesn't count. Do something active.
And I think that would always be the ideal, but not every kid wants to do that. You and I both, like, your kids are into sports. Mine is kind of like into the tangential sports. She's cheerleading. She's gotten into volleyball quite a bit. But, if your kid just does not want to do that, you could force feed it to them, or you could find another way to bond with them. And if they're interested in doing this, I absolutely would. And let's be fair. I mean, even though I think it might be a misnomer, they are called esports, right? It is a way to is a way, at least for you and I, who are both huge sports people, to connect with a child over something that is at least on the periphery of sports.
See, I wish the esports thing turned into we're playing Madden, we're playing NCAA football, that thing. That's just my preference, but it's actually like, I don't know what it is, Dungeons and Dragons and all this stuff. I don't know what this is. By the way, the high school competition, they have esports sanctioned. They've got esports in South Dakota. They have the esports state tournament.
I mean, these feel more like hobbies than sports, if I'm being entirely honest.
Yes, so that's the misnomer.
Right,
that's what it is.
Like, I'm all for it. If this is what you're into, go right ahead. But to call that a sport or have like a competition between schools over these things, this is kind of like when you go to college and you can't, or even high school, and you can't make varsity sports, and so you play the intramural sports. It doesn't really count, right? It's fun, it's active, doing something, but it's not on the same level as playing a varsity sport.
Okay, let's get into real sports. We will do that. Vikings, J.J. McCarthy. I really want to know what Rob Kegron thinks. I think he was laughing the other night. I think he was laughing. We'll talk J.J. McCarthy and how concerned should Vikings fans be next.
This is the Nate Brown.
There's nothing like it. Not for hundreds of miles in any direction. A gathering space for all kinds of people from all kinds of backgrounds. To share, to revel, to stand together and celebrate life's greatest moments.
We are number one. So you can always be their number one. Black Hills Surgical Hospital and Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center. The number one hospital in the nation for major orthopedic surgery.
Renewal by Anderson Windows and Patio Doors, the customers say it best, and they feel the difference every day.
Very happy with it. Very, very happy. I don't get tired of looking at them. And it's so nice with the breeze now, opening the windows, the ease of sliding the windows back and forth. Notice that it is warmer in the winter time, and it is cooler when the sun is shining in.
Renewal by Anderson Windows and Patio Doors, the customers say it best. Book your free estimate right now at RBARapidCity.com.
What do you call a place? It's one of Deadwood's largest casinos, but is it really a casino? Because you can't decide, should I play or eat or wait? There's a liquor-infused ice cream bar? I mean, you're playing craps one minute, and the next you're looking at a charcuterie board? What even is that? Never mind the gunfight outside, you don't have time for that. You've got espressos to down and games to bet on and a pub with 48 whiskeys? What do you even call a place like that?
Get your car into a shop for repair. Well, not anymore. In most cases, you can stop by one shop, get your estimate, and schedule your car for a repair. The question now becomes which shop you choose. If you like quality, choose J&J Truck and Auto Body. They have ASE, PPG, and Gold iCar certifications that allow them to offer you a nationwide warranty. And they'll work with your insurance company so you're pleased with the outcome. J&J Truck and Auto Body, 1513 East Philadelphia.
Hi, this is David Brenneman with Coldwell Banker Black Hills Legacy in Rapid City. With today's home values, right now could be a great time to sell your home. The Black Hills housing market is competitive, and I would love to help you get top dollar for your home. I have been selling real estate and attracting buyers in Rapid City for nearly 20 years. When it comes to buying or selling, experience matters. If you're thinking of selling your current home, let me put my expertise to work for you. Just Google David Brenneman, Coldwell Banker. List it, sell it, and move on. With me, David Brenneman, Coldwell Banker.
Live callers, big-time interviews, and breaking sports news. This is South Dakota's sports talk show, The Nate Brown
It is South Dakota Sports Talk Show. Glad you're here. The Nate Brown Show is live. If you miss parts of the show, go to the Nate Brown Show podcast. Every show's there on Apple, Spotify, Amazon. You can walk your dog in the morning and listen to the Nate Brown Show. We do have one guy that does that, and you know who you are. I love it. He says he still walks his dog and listens to the Nate Brown Show in the morning. What a morning. Grab your coffee, walk the dog, and then listen to me and then argue on your headset when you're walking down the street. You must look like a crazy man.
You just can't yank your dog while you're doing it. When you get mad at Nate for what he said, something really bizarre.
He's a Dolphins fan, so he's mad enough.
Oh, boy.
As it is. Thanks for listening to the Nate Brown Show podcast. You can get it on demand. We had Zach Barnett on tonight, college football writer, Football Scoop. He says the Huskers should win this Saturday. He said they need to win. They're underdogs at home. Zach Barnett on tonight. Lee Sterling with his picks from Paramount Sports. He put them in tonight, live from Miami. Now it's Happy Hour with Rob Kegron, who's live in studio. Let's go to the NFL. Rob Kegron has been a certified J.J. McCarthy doubter and potentially hater. I'm not sure why.
I'm not a hate. I just come off that way because I have a very brash attitude, and I am absolutely number one in the J.J. McCarthy doubter club. There's no doubt about that. I'm the president and the founding father of it by far.
And you just started being that way here on South Dakota Sports Talk Show for some reason.
No, I was like that since he was drafted. I did not like the draft pick from Minnesota. Wasn't very impressed with him in Michigan. I thought he was a decent quarterback. I did not think his skills necessarily translated to the pro game. And let's see. I'm not exactly sure that I'm wrong so far through 2 games.
So the first game, you sent a message early, and then J.J. McCarthy came back on you in the fourth quarter. Then this last Sunday night was not good the whole time. And so then he gets hurt. That's the news this week. But let's just go back. Do you think Vikings fans should be worried with the J.J. McCarthy era, the way it has started? Injuries to 7 out of 8 quarters bad. It's been 2 games. What are you going to say?
Okay, so I think there are 2 words here, and I think they're very different words. Should the fans be worried, or should the fans be panicking? I'm going to say they should not panic. It's too soon for that, but they absolutely should be worried. No doubt in my mind, you got to be a little bit worried. Again, you can't expect everything in 2 games, so I don't have unrealistic expectations. Unfortunately for JJ, there have been a lot of quarterbacks over the last number of years who do start off pretty well, pretty hot, and play really well in their first season. Now, he lost his first season to injury. He comes back in these first 2 games. He has essentially one really, really good quarter. Now, it's the fourth quarter of the first game, so that's worth a little bit more than, let's say, the really good first quarter of the first game. So that's worth something, but he was terrible on Sunday night. And what I'd be really worried about, and this is not all on him, clearly, he's been sacked 9 times in 2 games. 9 times, 3 interceptions. I think he had a fumble on Sunday night as well.
That was a snap. But
okay.
Yeah.
But, I mean, there are some troubling things there that I'd be worried about. And on top of all of that, in terms of the performance, you certainly have to be worried that is this guy injury prone, right? Torn meniscus, now a high ankle sprain. In all likelihood, I don't think he's playing until the bye.
Well, they're saying 3-4 weeks here.
Are you going to send J.J. McCarthy over to Dublin and London to play those 2 games back-to-back with a high ankle sprain? Keep him at home. Let him get his rest. Let him try to reset for after the bye. That's what I would do. But should I be worried if I'm a Vikings fan? I absolutely would be worried, because what you've told me all summer long and all last year is how the great quarterback guru and whisperer
yes.
Kevin O'Connell is going to do amazing things with this guy, and he has all kinds of weapons around him, and he actually has 2 really good running backs. Has all these things to work with. He's thrown for like a combined, 305 yards in 2 games, 2 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, 9 sacks.
Here's your problem.
I got a lot of them, Nate.
Bo Nix started like this. Not good, struggled. I went and looked at the numbers this week because I said, I remember Bo Nix not being good for my Broncos, and it was like this. Then he just tore off at the end. I mean, last 10 weeks, just unbelievable. And we saw the touchdowns go through the roof, the whole thing, the turnovers, all that stuff. This is JJ's first year. They say, well, second year. No, it's his first year. And by the way, he doesn't have left tackle, Jordan Addison. These guys are hurt now. Aaron Jones is out. He's got big guys missing. So I think that's a big factor. I would not be worried at all. I would absolutely not be worried at all.
Okay, you make a compelling argument. I still disagree with you, but you make a compelling argument about 2 games, the stats. You make a good comparison with Nix. You're telling me you're not worried that the guy's injury prone? He tore a torn meniscus in the first preseason game last year, and now on the second game he has an high ankle sprain. Some guy, I'd say the same thing about Joe Burrow, who I adore and think is one of the great quarterbacks.
He is injury prone.
He absolutely is injury prone. Some guys are injury prone, and some guys are not. And I think if it were me, 2 seasons, 2 games, 2 big injuries, I'd be worried.
Okay, so you're more worried about his injuries than his play. I think you're worried about his play. I'm not at all, because you can't tell yet. You cannot tell yet.
I think it's a combo of both, but I'll give you, which is why I said not to panic yet. I absolutely would give him, 6 to 10 to 12 more games before I made a real evaluation on what the guy is going to be. But it's not like he's blowing the doors off and making me absolutely be sold on this, and I'm a huge doubter. So I have seen nothing other than 1 really good quarter to make me think I'm wrong.
And by the way, I did pull this back on Monday on the show. I said I picked him winning the NFC North. I'm a little worried about that. Let's
just hope you didn't put your hard-earned money on it.
I did not, just for the show, just for your effect. So I'm a little worried about my prediction. I'm not worried about JJ yet. The injury's a high ankle sprain. It happens. It happens. J.J. McCarthy now replaced by Carson Wentz. This is the last shot for Carson. What happened? He was an MVP. Injuries. Speaking of being injured, I saw Carson Wentz in his last game. He played with the Chiefs last year.
Yep.
That was the Chiefs-Broncos gimme game.
Yep.
So all the backups were out there. Let's hope he's better than that. That was bad.
Well, think about this matchup, though, on Sunday, right? Cincinnati and Minnesota, and it's Browning versus Wentz. What? Who had that one on their bingo card?
Just what we wanted. And by the way, does Carson Wentz, does he get it done here? He's going to have about 3 to 4 weeks. Does he get it done?
No, of course not.
He doesn't.
No.
So what are the Vikings going to just mail this in? They're
not going to mail it in, but they're not going to win. Come on, Carson Wentz.
They'll beat the Bengals. Give me a break.
Are they going to? Don't they play Pittsburgh in Dublin and Aaron Rodgers?
Yes.
I will take Aaron Rodgers over Wentz, and then I think they play the Browns the week after in London.
Yes,
they could beat the Browns for sure.
We'll pick this game coming up in our NFL picks for Week 3. Bengals at Vikings. Vikings favored by 3 with Carson Wentz. You tell us, Vikings fans on Fox Sports. Are you concerned about the start of the J.J. McCarthy era? This is the choice that the Vikings made. It's a big risk. I did say it was a risk. With all the players that he has around him, they need to win now. I said it was a risk. I still believe he's going to be fine. You made me into like this J.J. McCarthy super fan. I wasn't there, but I think he's good enough. I don't think Kevin O'Connell would just hope and pray.
Oh, and I don't agree. I completely agree with that. Right? I think he identified his guy. I think he saw a lot of talent potential in him. I'm not disagreeing with that part. It doesn't always work out, though. And let's be fair, right? There are a lot of guys who are good evaluators of talent who, for whatever reason, they just miss something, or this guy, even just the athlete himself, just doesn't make that jump up to the next level. Happens every single year in the draft.
Here's the comparison I made. Did the Vikings select Trey Lance when they should have had Brock Purdy? That was the 49ers. They selected Trey Lance, Brock Purdy way later, and it flipped.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, Trey Lance, in a similar way to McCarthy, Trey Lance had his very impressive moments, obviously, NDSU.
Yep.
McCarthy had his moments, too, but when I saw McCarthy, I did not see NFL quarterback. And I would have said the same thing about Lance way back when, right? I didn't think that there was necessarily that jump to the next level. Not like a guy like Jaden Daniels, who I love, who when I watched him play, I thought, absolutely, this guy is an NFL quarterback.
See, here's where I'm at. Well, I'm not giving up yet. I didn't think Bo Nix was the guy. I'm still a little iffy this year, but Sean Payton turned him into a production guy. Touchdowns, no interceptions. It worked last year. I thought Bo Nix compared to J.J. McCarthy, J.J. McCarthy's better than Bo. That's what I thought. That's what the Vikings are hoping. Coming right back on the Nate Brown Show with Rob Kegron in studio. It's happy hour. What does it mean if the Huskers win Saturday? They haven't beaten a top 25 team in 9 years. It's number 21 Michigan on Saturday in Lincoln. We'll talk Huskers coming up.
This is South Dakota's Sports Talk.
There's nothing like it. Not for hundreds of miles in any direction. A gathering space for all kinds of people from all kinds of backgrounds. To share, to revel, to stand together and celebrate life's greatest moments.
We are number one. So you can always be their number one. Black Hills Surgical Hospital and Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center. The number one hospital in the nation for major orthopedic surgery.
Renewal by Anderson Windows and Patio Doors, the customers say it best, and they feel the difference every day.
Very happy with it. Very, very happy. I don't get tired of looking at them. And it's so nice with the breeze now, opening the windows, the ease of sliding the windows back and forth. Notice that it is warmer in the winter time, and it is cooler when the sun is shining in.
Renewal by Anderson Windows and Patio Doors, the customers say it best. Book your free estimate right now at RBARapidCity.com.
Coming this Friday on Fox Sports Rapid City. The Rapid City Stevens Raiders seek their first win of the season as they face the Sioux Falls Washington Warriors at O'Hara Stadium in Rapid City. Join Dean Gurren meets Rome Wickersham for all the action, beginning with the pregame show Friday at 5:45, followed by the kickoff at 6. Rapid City Stevens battles Sioux Falls, Washington, Friday right here on Fox Sports Rapid City.
Great news. I just got the State Farm personal price plan on our home and auto insurance.
You told our agent about my thing for romance novels?
No, you don't have to get that personal. Our agent just helped me choose affordable options to create a personalized price just for us.
Oh, sweet. Then you won't believe the love triangle Jen is in now.
Contact me, State Farm agent Scott Carlson, to create your personal price plan today.
Prices vary by state. Options selected by customer. Availability and eligibility may vary.
Ever since Barron's Wilson Funeral Home first opened their doors in Rapid City 140 years ago, they have continued to make personal service their number one priority. In your time of grief, they offer a personal touch by being at your side through every step of the funeral process. They answer difficult questions and guide you toward other professional services you may need. See for yourself the wide variety of services they can provide for you by visiting their website at barronswilson.com.
You're listening to The Nate Brown Show, also streaming right now on X. Follow us and watch the show live at Nate Brown Show.
Hey, welcome back in. It's Happy Hour with Rob Tegrod in studio live on the Nate Brown Show on Fox Sports Radio, South Dakota Sports Talk Show. Our NFL picks for Week 3, we'll break it down. I want to see which way Rob's going to go here. You think the Vikings might as well just mail it in. We got a listener text. He said, what's going to happen when Carson Wentz wins the next 2 to 3 games? Listener text, what's going to happen? I think he's saying, like, if Carson Wentz wins, then when J.J. comes back, do you have should we stick with Wentz? McCarthy kind of struggled. I don't think they would ever think that, right?
I sure would hope not, right, Nate? I mean, even if the listener is right and Wentz did win 2 or 3 of the next games, your future is J.J. McCarthy. You've already, the 1 year you lost him to a knee injury. you're not going to sit him the rest of the year because you know that Wentz isn't the future, right?
And you got rid of Sam Darnold.
Yeah.
You had that option.
He's a stopgap Wentz, right? Like, he's just there because you have an injury. Wentz has bounced around. Think about how many teams Wentz has played for now. Philly, Washington, Indy, last year Kansas City, and now Minnesota. This is not a guy who's going to be your long-term future at quarterback.
Okay, so if he wins, just take the wins and then go back to JJ. Listener text as well. Any rational Viking fan should be worried. Are there any rational Vikings fans?
You're not. You're not a Viking fan, but you're certainly irrational about McCarthy.
My brother is a Vikings fan, so I'm a Vikings supporter. I'm a Broncos lifer. I'm a Vikings supporter because I want my brother to get some success. It's been a tough road.
You're a good brother then, huh? And not that I'm trying to go down this tangent, but like my brother, and I don't want to get into baseball, but my brother's a huge New York Mets fan. Nothing would make me happier than if he died never seeing them win the World Series. And I love my brother.
Oh, you sure do. That's a great thing.
I love to watch him be miserable year in and year out.
That's a great thing right there. Well, when you watch the misery of my brother and his Vikings, it's sad. It's sad.
Year after year, they find a way.
He has a Vikings helmet. I mean, he's a super fan, and it's sad. So, okay, speaking of sad, speaking of struggling, this program hasn't won a top 25 game in 9 years. They've lost 28 straight. When you look up the number, 28 straight to top 25 teams. The Nebraska Huskers are playing at home. It's the prime game Saturday afternoon. Number 21, Michigan, with Biff Poggi coming to town as head coach. He's filling in for the suspended Sharon Moore. So I'm looking at it saying if the Huskers can win Saturday, is this changing the conversation? My national college football writer, Zach Barnett, said it would be a national story if they beat Michigan.
Well, I think it would be a national story, Nate, because, well, first and foremost, they'd be 4-0. Second, they'd absolutely be ranked next week, right? There's no way they're not ranked next week if they beat Michigan at home. But more importantly, Matt Rhule has always had this kind of like year 3. That's when everything starts clicking. He's done well. He did well at Temple and Baylor in year 3. In fairness, though, he never did very well in either of those programs against ranked teams.
He did not.
And so if you do it now, if you win a game in year 3, you go 4-0, you beat Michigan with their young quarterback who's looked pretty good so far to start, I think you're certainly heading in the right direction, and your schedule is generally favorable for you to make a run in the Big Ten. I mean, they do have 2 tough games later in the season with USC and Penn State, but short of that, I would say, if you beat Michigan at home, these are a lot of winnable games. Maryland at Minnesota is not easy, but winnable. Michigan State, winnable game, right? UCLA stinks.
I look at Penn State, not going to win that.
No.
That's an elite team. I think Minnesota's tricky, look out. And then USC looks good, and I predicted that.
Yes.
But I had this as a loss to start the, I did the breakdown of the season. I said, Huskers, how many do they win? People were putting them in the college football playoff this year because of the schedule. We'd have to go like 10-2. I don't have them doing that. I have them going 8-4, and Michigan was a loss. I hate to break it to everybody. It's going to be a loss.
Still a loss. Wow.
It's going to be a loss. Are you telling me the Huskers win Saturday? I'm confident. BetMGM Sportsbook, I'm coming. We'll be putting it on Michigan. I hate to tell you. I like Husker fans. They're passionate. I get a text from a Husker season ticket holder. He says, go Big Red. Every Saturday he sends it at 7 in the morning. Go Big Red. They're going to lose Saturday. They can't win games like this. They think it's going to happen. This is it. This is it. Michigan is Michigan.
So, Nate, I'm one of those gamblers that is a big believer in the mantra, if not now, when, right? They've lost so many of these games. If not now, when? You're at home. Michigan isn't as good as they were over the last handful of years.
They're a little down, but
if not now, when? When are you going to beat a ranked opponent? Saturday is the day to do it. I think it will be a very tough game. I'm not super confident, but to me, there's value in taking the home team in Rhule's 3rd year as an underdog.
Yeah.
I'm absolutely going to take that side of the game. I'm not going to do it with extreme confidence as I did with the Atlanta Falcons last week against Minnesota as an underdog. Did win some money on that one, folks. But no, I do believe, if not now, when? Like, this is the time for them to win a big-time game on a national spotlight.
Do the Huskers win Saturday? Listener text coming in on the Nate Brown Show. Text the show at 605-720-1067. Listener text, Huskers still don't know how to win these games. The wheels went off the cart last year when they had numerous chances to finish above 500. This game is for all the marbles. If they can't win this, it sets back the whole program.
Yeah, I don't know that I would agree with that either. I don't think it sets back the whole program. I think, if you tell me at the end of the season they're 6-6 or 7-5, yeah, maybe we're not there.
No, they can't finish like that with this schedule.
Yeah, I don't think one loss at home to a ranked team, a powerhouse. They might not be a powerhouse right now at this moment. I don't think that sets the program back. But Husker fans, are you not pining for the days of Bo Pelini? I mean, when we used to knock him.
No, they're not.
Why not? The guy won every year. I don't understand you guys. He won every year.
Nobody likes
I'm not trying to go down this rabbit hole, but geez, I like winners. I don't care if they're bums or nasty people. I want winners.
Yeah, they've wanted winners.
You ran him out of town after like a 9-3 season. It's like, you would be loving a 9-3 season now, Husker fans.
That is true, and it never came quite back.
Frost, nothing. This guy, Rule has been okay at least, but gosh, you guys got to win. If not now, when?
Boy, how about this massive game Saturday? Huskers, Michigan, and what does it mean if the Huskers beat Michigan? To me, it'll prove me wrong big time. I'll be the first to say it on Monday's show. I mean, this will be something, because it does set them up now. All they have to do then, they could lose to Penn State, lose to USC, then just win all the other ones you're supposed to. The Minnesotas, the Iowas, win those. Yep. Then 10-2, you're in.
They could be playing for the Big Ten championship, no? I mean, could they not? Like, if they only lose those two games, why wouldn't they be right up there for the Big Ten championship? They'll beat Iowa for sure.
That is why this... Oh, hang on a second. You set them up on that one. That's nice. They'll beat Iowa for sure. We've seen that one before. Huskers need to beat Michigan Saturday. It's a big one. We'll be watching it prime time Saturday afternoon. We're coming right back with some NFL picks on the Nate Brown Show for Week 3. Vikings, Broncos, and a couple other games on the docket.
This is the Nate Brown.
There's nothing like it. Not for hundreds of miles in any direction. A gathering space for all kinds of people from all kinds of backgrounds. To share, to revel, to stand together and celebrate life's greatest moments.
We are number one. So you can always be their number one. Black Hills Surgical Hospital and Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center. The number one hospital in the nation for major orthopedic surgery.
Renewal by Anderson Windows and Patio Doors, the customers say it best, and they feel the difference every day.
Very happy with it. Very, very happy. I don't get tired of looking at them. And it's so nice with the breeze now, opening the windows, the ease of sliding the windows back and forth. Notice that it is warmer in the winter time, and it is cooler when the sun is shining in.
Renewal by Anderson Windows and Patio Doors, the customers say it best. Book your free estimate right now at RBARapidCity.com.
What do you call a place that's one of Deadwood's largest casinos, but is it really a casino? Because you can't decide, should I play or eat or wait, there's a liquor-infused ice cream bar? I mean, you're playing craps one minute and the next you're looking at a charcuterie board? What even is that? Never mind the gunfight outside, you don't have time for that. You've got espressos to down and games to bet on and a pub with 48 whiskeys? What do you even call a place like that?
keeping your home warm in the winter, cool in the summer with their Fibrex windows.
I had no idea we had this much insulation in our walls. Honey?
Yeah?
I think it's time we call Renewal by Andersen.
Good call, Mr. Fix-It.
For a perfect fit, call 605-341-7831. Renewal by Andersen of South Dakota. 605-341-7831.
The doctors and staff at Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center have provided expert bone, joint, and muscle care to patients in the Black Hills area since 1976. Whether you're an elite athlete, a weekend warrior, or just want to continue your active lifestyle, the orthopedic experts at Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center will help you stay in the game. Don't let an injury keep you from doing the things you love. Trust the team at Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center, specializing in what moves you. Learn more at bhosc.com.
From high school to college to the pros, from Rapid City to Sioux Falls, the Nate Brown Show is South Dakota's sports talk show.
Hey, South Dakota Sports Talk Show. Checking in on a Thursday with us. We appreciate it. Thanks for making this show possible. Our listeners, our sponsors, all our affiliates across South Dakota, we appreciate it. Thought-provoking sports talk on the Nate Brown Show, and it really gets thought-provoking with Rob Kegron on Thursdays. Happy hour with Rob Kegron today. NFL picks coming up for Week 3. Hey, listener texted in. If the Huskers beat Michigan, should they storm the field? Should they storm the field? I had a guy on, great guy from Omaha, Gary Sharp, yesterday. He's old school. He said, don't do it. Don't do it. And I said, if the Huskers beat Michigan Saturday, they're storming the field. You know that.
I think for sure they are. I mean, they haven't beat a ranked opponent since, 2016? And even that was kind of a fugazi one. That was like Oregon at the beginning of the year.
Yep.
And they ended up like 4-8 that year, right?
So they stormed the field, right?
Yeah, I think that absolutely. You beat Michigan at home, year 3 of Rule. You'd feel like you're in the right direction. I 100% think they'll storm the field. But it does show you where Nebraska is at this point, right? That they would storm. I mean, Nebraska used to be a powerhouse in college football, and now they're worried about storming the field by beating an inferior Michigan team.
Well,
I would, though. You don't have a whole lot else to be excited about.
That Michigan team's not going to be inferior Saturday. I hate to break it to everybody. I got a listener text coming in from a Nebraska fan, the super fan. He said he's cautiously optimistic.
Yeah.
So he's a Nebraska guy through and through, from Nebraska, all the ties there. Cautiously optimistic. But that tells me they're a little worried.
As they should be, right? They have not done this in a long time, and Michigan is still a very good team. But Raiola has had now a number of games under his belt. It's one of these days he's going to be really good, and why not Saturday?
One more bet for Rob Kegron. I don't know how you bring this out in people, but we have the listener who wants to bet you. You said Nebraska will beat Iowa, no problem. I don't know what the quote was, but it was something like that. They'll beat Iowa. And you're laughing. If you're watching on YouTube, you can see him, but he's laughing. And the listener said, go Hawks, another bet with a pie to the face, which you did not come through on last time. So this is going to be a double pie to the face.
I'm happy to take the pie to the face. I absolutely deserve it. If not for that, then for many other things. I just don't see. I mean, again, we're talking about a game 3 months from now, so it's hard for me to really make a prediction. I got to see some more games on both of these teams, but I'm just never a big believer in Iowa.
Careful, because Iowa and Mark Gronowski are getting this figured out. They play Rutgers tomorrow. Take the Hawks tomorrow night. Okay, speaking of taking some teams, let's do this thing right now. We do the NFL picks. Before we go tonight, let's give you 4 games on the docket. Let's make some picks with Rob Kegron in here. How about we start with the Vikings against the Bengals? It's the showdown. Carson Wentz against Jake Browning. We would have had Joe Burrow against J.J. McCarthy. What a dandy. I'll be checking it out. Vikings by 3. What do you say?
You know, Nate, this is a really tricky game when you put 2 backup quarterbacks against each other. I am a little worried with the Vikings, particularly offensive line, obviously having given up 9 sacks from McCarthy in the first 2 games. I'd be a little worried about that. Wentz hasn't really played a whole lot. You know, obviously had that garbage game that we talked about earlier against Denver at the end of the season last year. I don't have a high expectation for Wentz. Now, I do think O'Connell will game plan well. I think he'll try to slow the game down a bit, and really not give Wentz too many opportunities to make a lot of mistakes. Browning, I think you can argue, is right at the top of the backup quarterbacks in the league.
He's played well. He did this before with Burrow.
He sure did. And, while he had his moments on Sunday against Jacksonville where he looked like he made some suspect passes, he did play well towards the end of that fourth quarter. And when I did not think Cincinnati would win that game, he pulled it out against the Jacksonville team that is better than they were last year. You're telling me I'm going to get the better quarterback? I know it's on the road, but I'm going to get the better of the backup quarterbacks, and I'm going to get 3 points? Take Cincinnati +3 to go 3-0.
Oh, my goodness. I'm going to Vikings there. Carson Wentz will surprise some people. I'm going to give Carson one more shot. Can you play quarterback again? You used to play it. Do you know that? Anyway, you got to play. Got to give him one more shot. Vikings defense is going to be all over Browning. They're going to be all over him. Vikings -3, tight. But Vikings win. They'll come back, and then people are going to say, look at Carson Wentz. This is his childhood team. He's going to make his debut. Take the Vikings. Here's one, NFC West. 49ers, 2.5-point favorites at home against the Cardinals. Who did I say in our NFL kickoff show who is going to be the surprise and win the NFC West? The Arizona Cardinals. So I'll take them here, +2.5. The Cardinals might win that thing, but I'll take +2.5.
And who did I say was going to be a great team in the NFC? Maybe even go to the Super Bowl? The San Francisco 49ers. Purdy practiced today. Is likely to actually get back into the game this week
and put limping around to me.
Mac Jones may be back on the bench again. Let's not forget, Nate, if you watch the game on Sunday, the Cardinals essentially let Carolina right back in that game, and they were up a bunch, and they did not play well in the second half at all. I'm more on your side on Arizona, that I still think that they are a good team, and I do think they'll be competitive throughout the year in the NFC West. But same kind of premise now. You're going to give me what I think is the better of the two teams, and I'm not giving a full field goal.
No, 2.5. You'd love that. They hooked you in on that.
You're telling me
I know that.
I win 20-17 and I cover and I win my bet. And I do think Purdy has a really good chance to play in this game. And for that, I'm going to take the San Francisco 49ers.
Whenever Rob sees 2.5, he could have just stopped there. It's 2.5 in his team. He picked the 49ers. I'm going Cardinals. Sunday afternoon, my Broncos they're not desperate, but you can't lose here again, and you're getting the undefeated Chargers, and you can't lose here. Broncos have played well in L.A. They have played well out there. I will absolutely take the +3. Absolutely taking the Broncos +3 at the Chargers.
Very tough game for me, Nate. I have not liked what I've seen from your Denver Broncos in the first two games. They were not impressive against Tennessee. Defense was pretty good. Offensively, they did nothing. Last week, let's be fair, the defense was not good. They gave up like 500 yards to Daniel Jones and the Indianapolis Colts. What's going on, guys? And Will Lutz missing, what is it nowadays, a chip shot field goal, which would have put him up 5 points. A goofy mental mistake with that leverage penalty right at the end of the game, giving him 15 extra yards so he can make the second field goal after missing the first. I am not as high on Denver as I thought I was going to be early in the season. And Justin Herbert has looked all world. He has looked cream of the crop, top 5 QB in the league. I would be worried if I were you. They went into Brazil and beat Kansas City. Then they went to Vegas and beat the Raiders. And now they're going to go home. And I know they have no home field advantage. I completely understand that. But this bet to me is about two things. Herbert and Harbaugh, who I think have really started to gel together and found their groove. -3. Take the Chargers.
So the Broncos are going to go 1-2, and the Chargers are going to be 3-0.
You should be 2-1, but because you should have never lost last week. It's your own fault.
That's why the Broncos they'll bring it. The Broncos will bring it in L.A. All right, last one Monday night. Lions at Ravens. I'm seeing this number move at the BetMGM Sportsbook. Ravens started at -6. Now I'm seeing it at -4.5. Ravens -4.5 at home against the Lions. Lions bounced back last week. This is an interesting one.
The Lions bounced back great last week, Nate, but who were they playing? Where were they playing? Now who are they playing and where are they playing? Different answers to both of those questions. Going on the road, where they traditionally don't play as well outside.
No.
They don't play as well against these big teams. The last time they were there, I think it was just 2 years ago, and they got their clocks cleaned.
Seems like a big number, though. I thought it would be 3.5.
4.5 is a big number, but I loved what I saw from Detroit in week 2. Hated what I saw from them in week 1. I think this is more of a week 1 than a week 2. And because I think Baltimore wins the game, I am going to lay the 4.5 reluctantly.
I'm with you on it. I'm not going to be laying the 4.5. I'm just going to take money line, whatever that is. Not a lot of value. So I'm just going to say Ravens win if I'm really doing that. I feel good about my Broncos +3. I feel good about the Vikings and Carson Wentz -3. I'm going to go Ravens money line just to beat the Lions. And I don't think they're going to blow them out, but they might. I mean, you win by 6.
Yeah.
They could win by 6.
Absolutely.
NFL picks are in. Rob Kegrod in on another Thursday on Happy Hour, the Nate Brown Show podcast, getting ready to go up. I'll tell you what, big Huskers, Michigan Saturday. Good weekend of football coming up. Thanks to Rob stopping in. The Nate Brown Show podcast, getting ready to go. See you next week.
Looking for a big new game to play? Well, there's no game bigger than the new dino-sized Jurassic Park scratch ticket from the South Dakota Lottery.